We are talking taxes with J.R. Cecil and Ryan Dodson, both of Liberty Tax Services. All right, Ryan, this person says, my daughter graduated college in May 2020. Can I claim her as a dependent if she's doing her own taxes for 2020?
Oh, but what a wonderful, there are several different rules that are going to apply there if you are going to claim your daughter. The biggest one is that she has to be considered, if she's a full-time student or considered a full-time student, which is attending classes, full-time student attending classes for part of 5 months out of the year. So that's one qualification. And under 24, you could claim her as a dependent. However, since she got out, and since I'm assuming she maybe has a job, here's the big kicker. Your daughter cannot provide more than half of her own support. If she provides more than half of her own support, then she's filing a tax return on her own as a single. If she did not provide more than half of your own support, you can claim your daughter that year, the last year.
Right, the last year before they're actually dependent. Okay, independent. All right, JR, this person says, I e-filed my taxes. They were accepted February 17th. I still don't have anything back. Should I be worried?
Probably not. The IRS is backlogged. We have a couple of our clients in the same situation. There could be a couple things that could be delaying the processing of the refund. One, if you're claiming the recovery rebate credit, we have been told to set expectations that could take longer than 21 days. Also, if you're using the rule where you're able to utilize prior year earned income to calculate some of your refundable credits, like earned income credit, child tax credit, that can also delay the processing beyond that 21 days. If you don't have anything out of the ordinary, not claiming either of those credits, it might be worth a phone call. Oftentimes your tax preparer can get on the phone with you and call the IRS and see if there's anything we can do to help finalize the processing. But I wouldn't be too worried, not this tax season. That's almost common this year.
Okay, Ryan, I think that this may be the same person who emailed me today. She's asking, what can I do if the wrong routing number was entered on my tax return? So wrong routing number, so it goes to the bank kicks it out because it's not the same, it goes back to the IRS, now what?
So at that point, we're just waiting for the IRS to send a check. So if any reason a bank sends a refund back to the IRS will print off a check the old-fashioned way and mail it to the address on your tax return.
That is not probably what they wanted to hear, is it? Okay, someone is asking how the child credit, how does the child support tax credit work if one parent pays child support and the other has the kids full time?
So I believe they're referring to the child tax credit. So typically the child tax credit follows whoever claims that child on their taxes. And that is usually dictated by whoever is the custodial parent or whoever the child resides with more. So whoever's paying child support probably won't benefit from that new change in the child tax credit rule. It'll probably be the custodial parent, according to the IRS.
All right, Ryan, this person says, is North Carolina following the federal government and not taxing unemployment benefits?
And that, unfortunately, North Carolina has not rendered a decision on. So we do not know at this point. We have reached out to the Department of Revenue. Unfortunately, the legislature is not in session. They're the ones who would make the change to this. So right now, we do not know if North Carolina is going to agree with the federal and go along with the federal and exclude that $10,200 from unemployment or not.
All right, this person says, I filed a 2019 tax return on paper a year ago, have not received the tax return yet. What should I do? Yeah, that's probably the problem, right, JR?
Well, if you think back a year ago, we had the pandemic just hitting. We had shutdowns everywhere, including the IRS. The IRS shut down. There were stories of paper returns being stacked in tractor trailer just in storage. So there are clients that filed last March and April on paper, and they haven't heard anything. The IRS has admitted, I saw a stat today, it was in the millions that remain unprocessed. So it might be worth a phone call, but that is not out of the realm of normal that a paper return filed last year might not be fully processed. Watch your mailbox to see if there's been any correspondence mailed to you, because you need to respond to that in a timely manner. But it's just a waiting game until the IRS can get to it.
All right, and very quickly again, someone's asking what's going on with tax day. It could be in May. Is that right, Ryan?
That's right. It could be. We've heard rumors that it's going to be moved out to in May to May 17th. However, as of right now, the deadline is still April 15th.
April 15th. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We so appreciate your time and your expertise. Before we leave you today, what we want to do is we want to put up this graphic because a couple of you have asked for it. And it's about some major changes that have happened when it comes to your taxes. And that deals with stimulus and that deals with unemployment. It also deals with $300 in charitable giving that you can write off this year, whether you itemize or not. So we want to make sure that you see that you know that, and know that in the Two Wants to Know section, we'll have all of this information and more. And we invite your questions so that we can do this again sometime.